guys, the 410 Challenger, and this is how we've set it up. And first I'm going to start with that Yamaha, because that is the #1 question that I was asked. As a channel, we got countless messages going, well, what outboard are you going to put on the back? I think it was the most exciting part for people. And what other brand than the most reliable brand in the world? Undoubtedly the Yamaha.
Yeah, you guessed it, the Yamaha.
Look, you get
almost unbreakable, just like the Toyota Hilux.
Well, I think they are the Hilux of the outboard world almost. But, you know, we've been speaking about what size Yamaha were we going to go. Were we going to go the 30, were we going to go the 40 or the 50? So we just went right in between. Now, we did get told several times, you know, have a think about a hydrofoil and see what it'll do. You may need one. But we just come screaming across from the mainland onto Penguin Island, 3 up, bit of gear in the boat, and it was on the plane in a jiffy, top speed of 29 knots. Electric trim tilt on the motor certainly did help with that.
Yeah, it was purring like a kitten as well. Don't you forget that. That was just one sweet sound. And we could all have a conversation and not get blown out by a noisy two-stroke. So.
Yeah, and that was the best thing. I think coming from a background of two-stroke, being able to actually have a conversation while doing 20-odd knots and not even having to raise your voice was pretty special to me, because I don't know how many times I've been out there and someone's yelling, fish, fish over there, and I can't even hear them. Yeah. Now we can. We've also got stuff like, of course, the anchor light down the back and the switch panel that we've got down the back there as well. Now, the anchor light is, as you can see, is a beautiful flush, almost a flush mount system where you just pop the stick in and away she goes. The switch panel's obviously got your 12-volt cigarette lighter, so you can charge your iPhones or whatever you like, as well as the switches, which is a great thing. You'll also notice that we actually haven't got rod holders on this boat, sort of. We got a couple down the transom, but that's what it comes with standard with Poly. But until we've actually used this boat, we don't know where we're going to want stuff. We don't know where we're all going to be positioned when we're fishing.
That's right. So why put holes in a boat if you don't know where you want to put your gear? So Brendan, I think you're babbling on about the boring stuff. What about all this storage? Because that's the most, it's like, peekaboo, where is your stuff? You kind of forget what you have because there's so much storage.
It's almost like you could fit a jack in the box in this boat. And I mean, this hatch right here is an absolute beauty. I mean, not only has it got a fantastic little system that Boat City put in that's so basic to hold that hatch up, but we can literally fit in the full Yamaha tank as well as 2 spare 5-litre tanks of fuel in one hatch. And that, just that fuel alone is going to keep this boat going for a whole bloody day. It's that economical.
That's it. Runs off the smell of an oily rag, eh?
As they say, the smell of an oily rag. Now, of course, there's always going to be 3 of us in the pink. And you know, we need to make sure that this boat functions. So stuff like the hatch covers up the front, the extended decks, they're an absolute, almost a gift. I mean, sure, they do minimize your room in the center here, but I think overall it's a big little boat. It really is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you mentioned on the big little boat, but I mean, you can literally get all of us on the side of this boat, and the boat literally sits beautifully in the water. Doesn't it, Brendan?
Oh, look, it is stable. It is stable.
Very stable. And like even the quietness of when you're hanging along the ocean and whatnot. Yeah, like I said before, the engine's beautifully and quiet. It's beautiful and quiet. The I think the Polycraft just takes a lot of the noise out. It just balances a lot of it. So
no, it's better. It's not like a noisy aluminium boat that's constantly slapping every 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's the word.
Well, talking about slapping, how soft this boat rode was very nice, but we're going to go into what we love about the boat in another episode. There's a little hint for you. You've seen it before, you'll see it again. You all loved it. But let's not forget about the fish finder.
I think it's bigger than my TV, Brendan. Look at the size of that thing. Colour.
Well, I tell you what, if we don't catch fish, it's our fault, because we've got the electronics to do just that. And I mean, down scans, standard sonar, mapping, the whole lot. It's on there, it can get it done. And you know what's a nice touch? Touch screen. Yeah. It's pretty good. Look, we've got navigation lights up the front.
You've got stainless steel everywhere.
Yeah, and it's bloody, if it's anything like the Tuffy, it's good quality stainless too. It's not the stainless that just starts pitting and sending rust down the sides of the boat.
No, it's literally something that you're going to enjoy every weekend or every month or whatever. You're going to enjoy coming out and shining up your stainless steel.
I tell you what though, one thing I didn't expect, although I probably should have, was the drive down to the ramp today. This boat turned heads. I don't know how many people were looking at this boat. I don't know whether they were thinking, what were they thinking?
A bunch of three blokes.
Or I know we did get a couple of thumbs up and a couple of, hey, cool colour, because this is a really unique boat. Now guys, we're going to jump on the water now. We'll go for a bit of a run, you know, show you guys a bit of action footage. But at the end of the day, if you want to have a closer look to this Polycraft, where do you head, guys?
Calcutta.
That's right. Now, it's going to be in the showroom for you guys to climb through, to have a look at, see what we've done. And this boat is going to be a boat of evolution. So this boat really will change as we go along in terms of mountings, GoPro mountings, rod mountings, a whole lot. Maybe one day we'll think about an electric when we get closer to our Barramundi trip. Oh, I'll let that cat out of the hat. Barramundi trip coming up at some point. This boat's going to do it.
Hey, I'm more excited for the island hopping and the X-mount trips and stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. Can't wait.
These boats got to take us to new places. Absolutely brilliant.
And guys, don't forget, with the deck lights in the boat, and then also the navigational lights around it, night fun, snapper fishing, dewies, everything. We're going to do the works, aren't we?
Well, actually, I can't believe I forgot those deck lights. Those stainless steel little deck lights, they actually illuminate the whole boat so well. It's going to take the need off having to have headlamps on the water, scaring the fish. Instead, you've got enough lighting there now that you can properly tie your rig without any disturbance to the water. The fish aren't even going to know you're there.
That's it.
Well, shall we get to it, guys?
Stop babbling on and let's get on the water.
Right, guys, see you on the water.